Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Monday, March 7th. Brand new week, ready to begin. Ian Cameron, Skee Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, ready to break down a Monday NBA card. Busy one, a lot of games, 8 on tap. Let's get to it. Bulls and 76ers to start it off. Philadelphia, 7-point home favorites, 232.5 the total in this game. Interesting matchup, of course. We've got the Bulls trying to once again show they can step up to the plate here against a better squad in the NBA. Something that they have definitely struggled with all season long. 4-game losing streak for the Bulls, all against good competition as well. Memphis, Miami, Atlanta, Milwaukee, losing all 4 of those games. The Sixers finally lost for the very first time since the break and since they've had James Harden with the team, although important to point out that last night in that Miami game, there was no James Harden on the floor. For the 76ers, losing to Miami 99-82. They'll be looking to bounce back tonight as they host the Bulls. I would expect they will win this game. Do you want to lay 7? I certainly don't really trust Chicago and the issues they have stepping up in class. Vucevic, by the way, game time decision tonight, questionable with a hamstring injury for the Bulls. Billy Donovan said it's due to hamstring tightness. The coach did say he probably still will expect Vucevic to play, but obviously something you want to keep an eye on closer to tip-off. I lean to the over here. The over's gone up a little bit. Really the only Philly game that stayed under since Harden's been here and on the floor for the Sixers was that last game against Miami where he didn't play. They've been an over machine other than that, and I've been on a bunch of these overs, so rather than a side, that's the way I'm going here with the Bulls and the Sixers. And the Bulls are going to struggle defensively till they get Caruso and Ball back. They're still both out. So I like over 232 here, Chicago, Philly. Skee, what do you think, Bulls, Sixers?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Bulls, they're not playing very much any defense. Still missing those guys who are going to make the difference on that end of the court. So as long as James Harden's in the lineup, I mean, we've seen it so far. They're making it to 120 every single time. And against this Bulls defense, it's hard for me to think they don't. So Philly team total, it opened at 117.5. It's up to 119.5 now. I think it's, going the right way. I think you can still get over that number. And I agree that Chicago is not good versus competition, but they haven't necessarily been losing by, that big of a margin. Like it's -7. It's kind of thinking Philly's going to win this game by double digits, which they've been doing since the trade, but I'm a little skeptical. So lean Philly on the side, probably like Philly team total a little more.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I prefer team total than laying the 7 points. Dutch, what do you think here, Chicago and Philly?
Yeah, real quick. Salute to the ladies, gents, and DJs for tuning in. You already know it's all love. It's Medicaid Monday, so be sure to smash that motherfucking like button like I just smashed that plane of what was I just smoking? See, that's how good it was. But hey, no, it was.
Hey, bring that to San Antonio. Bring it to San Antonio.
Right? Bring me some of those magic Dutch forgot what the fuck he was doing moments in San Antonio.
31%, boy, get you right where you need to be, So yeah, I'll be sure to have that in the essay for sure. Shout out to our guy Lucky Power, Tiffany. I see you. Good call with the Knickerbockers on Friday. I know they didn't win, but they covered. Lucky Power, I see you, my dude. But yeah, this game, it's exotic as a motherfucker. I can't lie. I kind of really second everything my guy Skee and Ian said. I think this number is pretty sharp, to be honest with you. When I first look at it, I'm like, damn, that's a big number for Chicago. Skee touched on it. These motherfuckers are 1-13 versus top 7 teams this year in the NBA. So they lose, but they don't lose. They don't get blown out by these teams. They're somewhat in the 6, right in this mark in this number. So I believe the number is very sharp. But then you look into a little more in the Bulls, man. They've been a fade in this situation. They're 0-4 ATS last 4 as a dog, 0-4 ATS last 4 overall. 0-6 last 6 meetings versus the Sixers, and 1-6 ATS last 7 in Philly. So I think, this number is probably high for a reason, and I believe that the big, the one thing I think you can say about Philly is they lack in size now without Embiid. They did get DeAndre, but the number one thing is Chicago lacks on size. I know they do got Tristan Thompson in there, but his ass will probably foul out within 25 minutes. So. I look at it as Embiid will eat, and I kind of look at Maxey as value. I've been staying away from the prop market, but digged into it a little bit this morning, and it looks like there's some pretty solid value on Maxey over 17.5 points averaged 25 points per game last 5. Went over this number 5 of the last 6. We know, I don't really see anything out there on a defensive perspective from Chicago to get in his way. Kobe White, Levine, none of these guys are really trying to play defense, to be honest with you. So I would look for Maxey to get his tonight. Over 17.5 points seems pretty solid.
Hey, let me support that a little bit too, because I'm on that play too, and I forgot I got some stats here. Chicago's last 10 versus point guard position. I know he can be between point guard or shooting guard, but 25.6 points per game, and on the season versus shooting guards, it's a little bit over 20. So 17.5, that seems like a bargain. He gets to score really easy with Harden out there. I'm on that play too.
And by the way, the pace and possession numbers dropped like a stone. They dropped like a rock against Miami without Harden. And in the games with Harden, they've been way higher. That's also been something to point out with Philly. So play with Harden, you play faster, and you're probably going to see that. So I really like this over here rather than either side in this game. Wham, how about you?
I kind of would agree with that, though, Babano, with the over here. I don't think it's going to be that much of a defensive effort on either side in this game. It's going to be more about the offense on both ends. DeRozan averaging, I believe, 34 to 37. I think I've seen 37 points against this team over the first 3 meetings, even though they lost all 3 of those meetings. That's another reason why I kind of don't want to go against them because, division in the conference could be possibly sweeping. It tends to not happen more than it actually happens. So that's another reason why I didn't want to stay away from it. But the Bulls, man, they're 3-12 straight up as road dogs. That's a crazy stats. Obviously, that the bookmakers know exactly how to set this line. So I'm right there with you, Dutch. I think this is a sharp line, so I'm stay away. It's a backwood for me.
All right, there we go. Backwood for Wham. Next up, we've got Atlanta, Detroit in the Motor City. Hawks, 7.5 point road favorites, 228.5 being the total in this one. The Pistons actually, believe it or not, this has been a team that, I've bet a lot of games of theirs over the total. Their last game against Indiana, which was actually on Friday on this show, I couldn't believe this game stayed under the total. I mean, it was just sailing over the total in the first half prior to halftime of that game. And it just grinded to a halt, scoring in the second half, Indiana, Detroit on Friday night. And it was because Detroit played some defense down the stretch. They did. And they haven't done that a lot very much this season. But the last couple games, the Raptor game and the Pacer game, good crunch time defense in the fourth quarter by the Pistons to win those games. And more importantly, that was now 7-0 against the spread for Detroit, their last 7 games with that win against Indiana. In fact, they're 5-2 straight up in those last 7 games as well. And a couple of those wins against good competition. Toronto was a good win. Boston was a very good win right before the All-Star break. I like the Pistons here. Home dogs. They've got a good winning point spread record at home this year at Little Caesars Arena. I've got them at 17-14 against the spread at home this year. They have been very good lately, much better. Cunningham's playing well. He's healthy again. Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Corey Joseph's actually been pretty solid at the point guard and gives them some defense at the point guard spot as well. I like what I'm seeing out of the Pistons. And what I know about Atlanta is I don't trust them laying big points on the road against anybody. I just don't. At Washington, they were 5.5 point road favorites Friday night. They only won 117-114. They lost outright on the road against Boston. They got crushed by Chicago on the road, crushed by Boston again. Their only road win and cover recently was at Orlando. So this is an Atlanta team not with a very good track record on the road. Give me this red-hot surging point spread machine right now, Detroit, as a home dog in this one. I like that. Dutch, how about you? Atlanta, Detroit. There you go. Shoot down that hawk. It's a wounded hawk tonight. Big show.
That was a wild ass graphic right there.
Yeah, man. I second everything Ian said, though. To be honest with you, I agree. Big shout out real quick to our guy Paulie Walnuts. I see you, my dude. Big Red, I see you. Dennis, get money. Always with the positive vibes. Star Child 2 says the Pistons are some dogs, and I agree, man. I like actually what I see from them, and Cade Cunningham as well. I try to, you know me. Usually I just back with this motherfucker right off the top, but I do like the Pistons here. I think there's value here. I don't know if I'm going to bet it, but after listening to Ian and my numbers and everything, I think I should be betting the Pistons today. It's just hard for me to pull the trigger on it. But we like to fade Atlanta on the road as well, so this could be a nice mix. The Pistons are 7-0 ATS last 7 overall, 1-3 of the last 4, 6-0-1 ATS last 7 in conference. And then we look at Atlanta. We can look at Atlanta as a fade, like I mentioned, on the road. They're 1-6 ATS last 7 after a win, and 1-6 overall ATS last 7 on the road. I like Cade. I like Bay. Grant's back in the mix. Like Starchild said, there's some dogs and everything you mentioned, Ian. I agree with, and I like Cade here. So I don't know if I should be betting the Pistons with the points or if I should just bet Cade over 18.5 points. He's went over this number in 5 straight. It seems to be extreme value with Cade Cunningham here. I love the matchup, whoever they throw at him, especially if little ass Trae Young's going to be on him. But yeah, I think he's going to rise up to the occasion, against Trae. And I could see 20 points just being easy for Cade tonight. And I expect the Pistons to be in this game. So maybe both. I'll get to the window with both of these plays, but they're both very appealing to me. Pistons full game and Cade Cunningham over 18.5 points. And big shout out to our guy, James Callie, for the $9.99 dono. Miami Heat Super Gremlins.
Super Gremlin.
Yeah,
Super Gremlins,
yeah,
Miami.
I fuck with the Heat.
Appreciate it very much, James. Going back to Cali. Cali, we appreciate that very much. $9.99 dono. Thank you very much, James. Appreciate it a lot. Skee, what do you think here of this game, Hawks and Pistons?
I'm agreeing that my bad. I'm agreeing that you got to play the Pistons here. I don't think they've covered every single game, if I'm not mistaken, since the All-Star break. And Ian, I heard you talk about their record at home. I know as a home dog, they're 12-4 against the spread. Home dog of 7+.
Yeah.
So that's their role. When they're getting 7 or more at the house, that's when you want to bet them. So that combined with, like you said, I think you mentioned it, Hawks don't even have a winning record on the road. How am I going to expect them to win by margin here? So Pistons plus the 7.5 is the way I'm going.
1-6 ATS last 7 on the road for Atlanta. And by the way, Detroit 3-0 straight up and against the spread. And straight up, they've beaten Atlanta 3 straight times at home that they posted the Hawks. So, Atlanta's actually crushed Detroit at home. But when they've gone to Detroit, Detroit's won 3 straight head-to-head against the Hawks at home. So it's been a home court dominated series history head-to-head recently with these two teams. Wham, what do you think?
Yeah, and that last game was in Atlanta, man, when they played earlier on in the season. And Cade missed that game. We know Cade didn't play early on in the season, so he missed that last game. The last game for the Hawks, John Collins came back, had 24 minutes. DeAndre Hunter had his best game of the season with 26 points. I'm not thinking that both of them has a really big impact that they're going to push the envelope here. Maybe that production from DeAndre Hunter is split between the two, and it's pretty much the same game that you're getting here. So I kind of do agree with you guys with the Pistons here. They've been playing a little bit better defense from the 3, allowing opponents to I believe top 5 in least 3-point attempts and 3-point makes over the last 5 games, 11th in 3-point percentage with their holding opponents. So I think they're going to play a little bit better defense, and it is good to note that my boy Cade is probably back on the offensive side. I'm still scared of the assists because it seems like they're playing a little bit team ball. A lot of hockey assists gets thrown his way because, I'm saying, things of that nature. So it's annoying there, but I do like the Detroit Pistons here. I haven't made this official yet. I kind of want to wait to talk to you guys about this. So I am starting to think that this is going to be an addition for me after the show.
All right, liking the Pistons here as well. All right, Houston, Miami. Miami Heat 15-point home favorites, 224.5 the total in this game. Certainly just a question of focus for Miami. We know they should roll in this game against Houston. It's a question of how fired up are they, how focused are they going into this game for 48 minutes against the lowly Houston Rockets. But you would think they've still got a chance to get the job done. I should point out, too, Atlanta's, by the way, I forgot to mention this the last game, Atlanta's got Milwaukee next up on Wednesday night. So even more of a reason why this is a tricky spot for them tonight, maybe against Detroit. But as far as this one goes, it's a backwood for me. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Houston's an over team, but I don't know if they score enough easily against this Miami defense, which is very good. Lowry, a game-time decision. Even without him, they can roll this team. It's just a lot of points in a spot like this where they're coming off the big Philadelphia game. They've had some big games lately. Philly, Brooklyn, that was a bigger game. Milwaukee before that. Chicago, they played a lot of big games, big teams. Now you're playing Houston. Are you focused? But I still don't want Houston. So I'm passing. Backwood for me. Wham, how about you? Houston, Miami.
Yeah, and I want to also note that the Pistons haven't won a 3-game winning streak since 2018-19 season. That's the last time they had a 3-game winning streak. So they almost there. They win to get that today. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good stat to know. Neither here nor there, but I am going to say this is exotic backwood, like my guy Alfonso said. This is exotic backwood, I would say, and it is kind of leaning me towards the Houston Rockets. I'm not gonna lie. I was damn near about to wear my Houston Rockets hoodie today, and I just thought about like, nah, I don't really want to fuck with the Rockets today, and that's kind of why I say it's exotic backwood, to be honest with you. But I will say one stat that this got me off of the Rockets here was them second half of back-to-back 0-10 straight up, 2-7-1 against the spread. Kyle Lowry got upgraded to questionable, so you got to think about him coming in playing a little bit better here. So I'm gonna stay away from this game. It is exotic backwood, but I wouldn't be surprised if they build up on the best game they ever had, which was the win against the Memphis Grizzlies. They allowed the Memphis Grizzlies. You know how I look at the game, man. Points in the paint, 72 points in the paint. There was 72 points in the paint, and they still won the game because they shot better from three. Threes are more than twos. So, they keep playing that well. Who knows what the Rockets could do. And Jalen Green has been cooking. I wouldn't be mad at you if you on the prop for him. So, but it's a backwood for me. I'm not touching this game.
All right, backwood for we got another dono, Rayhan Hyder. There we go. Thank you very much, $9.99 dono. Appreciate it. Thank you for that. But definitely, yeah, Houston, what a shocker against Memphis last night. But with these really bad teams, when they have a stunner and a huge win and against a good team like that, not all the time, but I find more often than not, they bounce in the wrong direction after a game like that. That it's not a sign of them putting it together and keeping it going. That's why I feel like this is probably a tough spot. And it is back-to-back for Houston as well after that shocker against the Grizzlies yesterday. What do you think here, Skee? Rockets Heat?
I think, they played a pretty solid game yesterday, but I'm going to go ahead and fade this Rockets defense. I think that's, kind of everyday thing, in my opinion, especially when they're on a back-to-back. You look at their 10 games so far on a back-to-back, they've allowed 66.9 first half points per game. Out of those 10 games, 9 of the 10 opponents went over the 61.5 team total number. Last time Heat played the Rockets, they scored 74 points in the first half. So give me the Heat first half team total over 61.5. And I'm pretty, I think the full game can get there too. It could be a blowout and, maybe pull some guys at the end. But 9 out of 10 Rockets games and back-to-backs in general go over. So 224.5, that seems kind of low. These back-to-back games are making it more to like the 230s. So I might get there with the full game over as well.
All right, full game over. Certainly not endorsing an under at any point with Houston, that's for sure. And it is a lower number for them, 224.5, probably because Miami's involved. And Skee liking the Miami team total over in the first half as well in this game. All right, Portland, Minnesota. Timberwolves, 14-point home favorites, 231.5 the total in this game. It really does feel like in this game for Portland, they could cover this number. I mean, they just played each other on Saturday night in Minnesota, the same two teams, and it was 135-121, 14-point win for the Timberwolves. Is there really that incentive to just go out there and crush this team? They have won and covered 4 in a row, Minnesota, and Portland's the opposite. They've failed to cover. They've lost 4 in a row and failed to cover. 0-4 straight up, 0-4 against the spread, Portland. But I'm not rushing to bet Portland. I just get the sense within these back-to-back situations when the one team, the superior team, which is Minnesota, beat them down pretty good the first meeting by 14. You could just see them kind of go through the motions. That's all I'm saying. That would be the concern for me with Minnesota tonight. Obviously, they should win this game, could win it handily. But there's reasons intangibly that I think maybe Portland stays within this big number. But am I that excited to bet Portland? No. So backwood for me here with the Blazers and the Timberwolves. I could only lean over with these two teams in terms of the total, especially Minnesota, 5 straight overs. But, you had this crazy amount of points the other night, 256 total points Saturday night between these two teams. Sometimes when it's the same two teams again the next game, it's the opposite. So that's what's probably going to keep me off the over. And we do see a lot of under money in this game, and I think they see kind of what I think could happen. Skee, what do you think here? Portland, Minnesota for the second straight time.
Yeah, this for sure. I'll put my money down that Dutch about to back with this game too, but I'm back with this game.
Yeah.
I don't want no parts of it.
Yeah, the back-to-back element of this game makes it even more difficult too. I lean Portland. I lean over. I probably won't bet either one. What do you think here, Wham?
Yeah, man, this is definitely going to be a backwood, but I will say I'm kind of looking at this total. I mean, this points here kind of a little bit crazy, especially knowing that D'Lo is going to be questionable in this game. You got Ant Edwards doubtful, even though Cat may be a little motivated off of being named a player of the week for the West. I still think this is too many fucking points. Portland could possibly score on this damn game. So, like you mentioned, the over may be appealing here, but I'm right there with y'all, man. I haven't put no money on this game, so this is going to be a backwood. But I wouldn't be mad if you on the over.
All right, Dutch. It's got to be backwood on our way to number 5, maybe again. We'll see. But backwood.
Yeah, man, big time backwood. Big shout out to our guy, Mr. H Town, Zachary, J Peasy. I see you, Bruce Park, new name in the chat, Unc Oliver, everybody in the chat. Much love. But yeah, this is a backwood too. And I don't know, I didn't say nothing about that last game, but that was a backwood too. And I hope my guy Alfonso Scott and my guy Wham Bam heavily medicated today, talking about that's an exotic backwood. Hell no. That shit was a Reggie Bush backwood. This one right in the same class. I'm not touching either one of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, D'Angelo's questionable. Anthony Edwards is out, by the way, or doubtful tonight as well for the Timberwolves. So make sure you're aware of that. That's probably why the under's taking money as well. I mean, that's big offense out of the lineup for the Wolves. If both Russell.
That's the reason why I'm like, why is the point so damn high? Like,
Yeah.
who is on the other side? Like, they think Malik Beasley going off. What we doing? Like,
which he could, but come on. I mean, it is Portland's defense, but that's still a big if. No question. If you're going to put your hands of the offense in his shooting arms, that's not something I'd be fully trusting. That's for sure. Speaking of not trusting somebody, the LA Lakers, they're taking on the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio 3-point home favorites, 235.5 the total. I did kind of get a sense that Golden State spot was going to be one where maybe they would show something a little bit. I'd had the Clippers as a best bet against the Lakers on Thursday. When the Clippers beat down the Lakers on TNT for the whole world to see. But boy, the Lakers, and particularly LeBron James, bounced back on Saturday night significantly, 124-116. I mean, 56 points. It was kind of a turn back the clock night for LBJ. 56 points, 19 of 31 from the field, 6 of 11 from long distance as well in that game. He had double-double, 56 points, 10 rebounds. It was just a terrific floor game for LeBron. No question. Give him credit for that against Golden State. But now you're going on the road. You're facing the Spurs. These are the spots I don't trust the Lakers in as much. Once in a while, national television, you get them revved up. Utah game. Obviously, the Dallas game, even though they lost, they fell short. They showed you a little moxie in the second half. They showed it again Saturday night against Golden State. Now you go on the road, you face San Antonio. LeBron, what's he got left in the tank after 56 the other night? An outstanding performance. I still don't trust the Lakers to keep it going. They've not been good off a win. What's their track record off a win? I know it's not very good this season, the Lakers. Yeah, off a straight-up win. Here's the record off a straight-up win. 16-39 against the spread off a straight-up win in their last 55. That's terrible. It tells you right there, I cannot trust the Lakers when they win a game. They often don't follow it up. At least they don't follow it up from a point spread covering standpoint. But do I want to lay with the Spurs? I don't know. Spurs have lost 4 in a row. They're not playing much defense, which is disappointing. They're a little bit banged up. Devin Vassell and Lonnie Walker, among others, game time decisions. DeJounte Murray's certainly been good. Keldon Johnson, Pirtle, but definitely the defense has been lacking. They can score with anybody, but defense is lacking. This is probably another one where it's over or pass for me. I probably don't love either side in this game, but I would probably prefer the over rather than either laying the points with the Spurs or taking the Lakers in a spot like this. So probably the over if I were to get involved with anything in this game. Wham, how about you, Lakers, Spurs?
That's it right there. It's gonna be the over, man. We're gonna go over this total 236, 235.5, whatever you're getting out there. It hit 4 straight times in this series here. We've seen the last game. The Spurs scored 138 points. I mean, I don't think the Lakers are going to play that much defense. They are playing their younger guys though now. So now we are playing our younger guys. We putting sitting fucking Ariza coaching decision. That's the good coach decision right there, Frank Vogel. Do the fucking right thing. Play fucking Reeves. Play the young guys. Let them shoot as much as they can to make the shots, bro, because the other guys can't fucking do it and play defense. It's only fucking right. The Lakers stick to that formula. Maybe LeBron continues to score as crazy as it seems that he, at this age, all this crazy stuff, but maybe he still go on this crazy run. And I think no NBA team won't pop to get this fucking record on them. He needs one more win to tie the Don Nelson record there for most wins. So I don't think no NBA teams want to let that happen, and damn sure don't want it to happen with the Lakers. So I do like the Lakers tonight. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the Lakers, but I am on the over. That's the official bet for me. 236 and 236, 235 and a half, whatever you could get it.
Yeah, these are two of the faster paced teams in the NBA too. Certainly from a possessions per game standpoint. I mean, both of them are right up there. The Lakers and the Spurs. That's definitely something you want to keep in mind as well in terms of looking at this game possibly being high scoring. Yeah, Lakers number 2, San Antonio number 5 possessions per game this season. Overall, I don't see why we don't see more of the same tonight here. Skee, how about you? LA, San Antonio.
Yeah, I agree. It should be an over. Lakers, whenever LeBron is going to be playing center, it ain't going to be no defense. It ain't going to be no paint protection. It's going to be, not blaming it all on him. I'm just saying, like, you can't really expect him to hold it all down like that. So their Spurs are going to score. I think the Lakers are going to score on them too, because Spurs are the 3rd worst defensive rated team since All-Star break.
Yep. Both
teams top 10 in pace. It just seems like a recipe for points in this one. I'm not gonna lie though. I feel like the Lakers gonna win this game. And I feel like Dutch says this. When the Lakers play good teams, they get their ass whipped. But when they play the bad teams, that's when they can show up and win. Spurs, what is their record? I think 24-40. Lakers versus less than 40% win teams this season. You got a winning record, 60%. So I'll lean Lakers, lean over.
Yeah, and keep in mind, too, with the Golden State situation, that's a team that's Golden State in name only right now. We'll get to them in a second. They're a hell of a banged-up basketball team right now, the Golden State Warriors. So I wouldn't even call it – you said the Lakers beat the bad teams. Did they lose to the good teams? You could say, well, they actually did beat a good team, Golden State, but Golden State's got personnel problems right now. So I think that played a part in the Lakers beating them. What do you think, Dutch?
Yeah, man. I would have. This is a tough game here. This dude, Bo Elite, says the Lakers are back, and then Tiffany said they won one game. And make sure you respect the ladies, Bo. Make sure Bo knows to respect the motherfucking ladies, bro. Yeah, man. But this game, I think I'm not betting the motherfucking Lakers. I know that, but I do feel like it might be a Lakers situation here. Like Skee said it. This could be a Lakers spot. And I believe Wham Bam likes it as well. But I do think that, I think Dejounte Murray is a fucking nightmare matchup, obviously, for anybody, but especially the LA Lakers. But he could probably get his, and I don't know if they find a way if they could still lose the game. Russ got 30+ games against the Spurs this year. So watch out. Russ might have a fucking night tonight. LBJ took it back to the time machine over the weekend and, had a beautiful game. But I was so down on the Lakers' back because the Warriors, they just ain't it right now. But I do believe the Lakers are probably a better team than the San Antonio Spurs. And you can't say that often, and you won't hear me say that often, that the Lakers are the better team. So it looks like a good value, solid number. And the thing I did look in here was the Lakers have beat the Spurs 2 times this year without LBJ. They lost, got blown out with LBJ. I know LBJ's probably seen that too. He's the type of dude that looks at shit like that. So I have a feeling he's going to go in there, probably try to get this win, do his thing. Over 30.5, I believe Michael Irvellino looked at that. That's probably good money, bro. It's high for a reason, and I'm sure he'll get 35+ tonight. But yeah, I'd only look at LA, but we know I'm not going that motherfucking way.
Let me put some numbers to what he said too for Murray. I didn't bet this one, but I was close to betting it. Since the All-Star, he averages 26.5 points per game, 9.3 rebounds, 9.8 assists, point guards or shooting guards versus the Lakers in the last 10. They've been eating, so I like it.
There you go. So it definitely supports what Dutch was saying there, no question. All right, Utah, Dallas. Dallas Mavericks, 2.5-point home favorites, 216.5 the total in this one. We've got Dallas playing good, 4 straight wins. A little fortunate to escape Sacramento. Probably not their best game, but they found a way. And when they didn't play their best, good teams do that. So Dallas escaped Sacramento 114-113 on Saturday night. They welcome Utah here to Dallas, who are off a 116-103 win against the Thunder last night. So back-to-back, 3rd and 4 nights as well for the Utah Jazz in this game. The good news is, because of that game being fairly a comfortable, well-in-hand victory for Utah most of that game, Quinn Snyder was able to pace the minutes of his starting 5. Mitchell, 35 minutes. Bogdanovich, 33. Royce, the 5'9", O'Neal, 34 minutes. Rudy Gobert, 34 minutes. So not bad for playing last night. So maybe a little fresher than normal. You'd see Utah in a back-to-back. But one thing about Dallas, they lost the last time they played Utah, 114-109 on the road in Salt Lake City, but they covered the number as 6.5-point road underdogs in that game. It's the only game they've lost in their last 7 games. So a little short turnaround, rapid revenge spot for Dallas. Utah team 3rd and 4 nights. I like Dallas here a little bit, laying the 2.5. I'll go money line instead for official play. Minus 130 to minus 140 is what you can get with the Mavericks on the money line right now. I'll just take the money line with the small home favorite in a price range like this. Dutch, how about you? Utah, Dallas.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I agree with you in there. Shout out to our guy THC Rizza, Chad Cannon, new name in the chat. Devontae Murray.
Gobert game time decision for our guy Paulie there. Yep.
Oh, Gobert. Yeah. Well, in fact, yeah, I would jump on Dallas now. I jumped on Dallas early. I love Dallas here. I think they win this game by double digits, to be honest with you. With Gobert, without Gobert, it don't fucking matter. Dallas is going to win because you know why? Because they got Luka fucking Don out there, and that's all that matters. Jalen Brunson, questionable. Would love to see him out there. But Dinwiddie, nice little fit-in piece and kind of does what these guys do. But we love us some Jalen Brunson. But the number one fucking thing is Luka the motherfucking Don, the closer in the game. That's all that matters to me. They'll win this game. Lay the points here. You touched on Ian. They did lose recently. The only game they lost. They've actually 0-2 this year versus the Jazz. 1 game without Luka. Hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. And Utah, is in a back-to-back situation right now. They're 0-4 straight up in their last 4 back-to-back situations. 2-4 ATS last 6 overall against the number. 1-6 against the number on the road, and 1-5 against the number overall. I got smacked in the face with the Pelicanos there on Friday. You guys were right. And what it is, yeah, you touched on it, Ian, I believe, on the show and after. Utah on the road ain't it, So I believe we're going to get a nice spot here for the Mavericks, who, obviously Luka not playing, going to come out, give his best. And I think they're going to show that they're a better team. They're going to show that, they don't like losing to a Utah team twice. They're not going to do it for the 3rd time. 4-0 ATS last 4 versus a team with their winning percentage above 60%. So they play up to their competition, and Dallas does. And they're 6-1 straight up last 7 at the house overall. So I look for Dallas not only to win this game, but to win this game pretty easily tonight.
All right, Dallas with confidence for Dutch in this one. All right, Wham, Jazz, Mavs.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you guys. I think Dallas is definitely been the better team recently, shown that they're better defensively. Even with Gobert out there, I think they still probably play better perimeter defense, better lockdown defense here. Jalen Brunson is a loss there, but like you mentioned, Dutch, I like my guy Spencer here. I like him to go over his points. They is setting it high, though, 19.5, but I did like him to go over his points and assists today. I think with Luka being in the lineup, it allows Luka to be a little bit more off the ball, even though he's not going to be off the ball as much as you expect. Someone is saying that about somebody added onto the lineup, but I think that he's going to still play a little bit off the ball in this game here. So I think Utah Jazz is just a bad team. We talked about it, months ago. I expect these guys to be broken up soon. It's only right, bro. But as far as this being an official play for me in this game, I don't have any official play. I do want to say I'm going to be on the Dallas here later on here, but I'm not all the way sure. But this is definitely the way I'm looking.
Now, Brunson's a loss, but this is why you got Spencer Dinwiddie in that trade, right? You got him for situations like this. You can slide him in. He takes more shots, more off an offensive burden on him. He takes more responsibility, and he's capable of stepping up. He had 36 points last game for the Dallas Mavericks. So, yeah, you missed Brunson. Brunson's had a hell of a season. No question about that for the Mavericks. But This is why you got a Spencer Dinwiddie, someone that can step up and fill those shoes. See if he can do that. I like his points prop, by the way, tonight, Spencer Dinwiddie as well. Perfect candidate maybe to step up without Brunson on the floor for Dallas. Skee, what do you think here, Utah, Dallas?
Yeah, I've been kind of back and forth on this game. And if Go so if Gobert is in, how it was this morning, I was kind of thinking to bet the under. Both teams slowest and second slowest in pace since the All-Star break. Haven't really been that great as far as defensive rating, but I all year long, Mavericks unders at home. I have 23-9. So it's that way or pass for me. But if Gobert is out, I'm probably not going to get there. For the side, you guys know I'm going to go with the more rested team if I have to. Rested favorite at home, it'll be Dallas or pass. So Dallas or under.
All right, Dallas or under, and Gobert's status will play a part in that. Certainly, if he doesn't play, the pace will quicken just a little bit. So that's why Skee would shy away a little bit from the under if he doesn't go. Golden State, Denver. We got Denver 8-point home favorites, 220.5 the total. So this is Denver or nothing for me. I can't back Golden State until I see this team get some artillery back because they're without a lot of it at the moment, no question, and especially tonight, which is why Denver's laying 8 in this game. They've got it's just a laundry list of injuries and absences. It's Andrew Wiggins out. It's Klay Thompson out. It's Andre Iguodala out. It's Draymond Green still out. Steph Curry's out tonight as well. Otto Porter is a game time decision. We've got Toscano Anderson game time decision. I mean, it's just an absolutely riddled team at the moment, the Warriors tonight. But the problem with laying 8 with Denver is, first of all, it's Denver laying big points, and they're not a shoe-in ever. Especially this year, laying big points. They've actually got a losing point spread record at home this year, the Nuggets. They're coming off a grueling affair against the Pelicans where they had a huge lead early. They blew the lead. The Pelicans came back, stormed back, took the lead, and then the Nuggets roared back in overtime and ended up forcing overtime, roared back to force overtime, and then in overtime they took over. And a wild affair with the Pelicans last night, 138-130. Denver comes back and wins in overtime. So this is fade versus fade in this spot. I don't want Golden State with their personnel issues. I don't want Denver after the game they played last night. It's not going to be easy for them necessarily to win by margin. So to me, you still got to think Golden State is just too depleted to compete, but it's just too many points in this spot after what we saw last night that the Nuggets had to go through to take them either. So backwood. That's where I'm going in this one. Dutch, what do you think? Golden State, Denver.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Danny Lopez, Mr. Woodworker, Gentleman's Guidebook, new name in the chat. I see you, my dude. How many people we got in here? We got 350 motherfuckers. Hey, man, I know it's Medicaid Monday, but come on, man. We ain't hit that Mando yet, you lazy motherfuckers. Hit the like button, share the motherfucking video, and Big Show backwood this motherfucker, please.
There you go, backwood. It's a tough game. It really is. Wham, what do you think?
Yeah, I got action on this game. I'm going to take Denver first quarter -2.5. It's just one of those things when you see the trend, you got to take it. It's looking like this going back in that direction. They had 35 points, 36 points, I believe, in the last game again yesterday against the Pelicans. Like you said, they give it up towards the second quarter. Jokic did have a crazy ass fourth quarter to overtime, 30 fucking points. You never seen a shit like that before since Kobe. I seen a stat there. That was crazy. But as far as this, the look here, Golden State missing all these people, man. And then also on top of that, they're already bad at the road in the last 10 first quarters. It's 2-8 ATS. You're just seeing a team that's 7-3 of the last 10 first quarters for Denver. Just think that this is a good spot for them, even though they just came off of overtime. I'm thinking they may lay out, towards the end of the game, not so much in the early spots of the game. So I think they have the advantage there. Even if they sit some guys, even if they, not even Jokic. I don't think Jokic is going to sit because fucking Iron Man. I think he's going to come out here and try to play again, capitalize on top of that great performance. But I think if they sit some other guys there, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think they still come out and cover. I think they could cover the full game. I'm just not sure about it. I'm not all the way sure with it, but I think Golden State is just not going to do the things that you expect them to do. Like Jordan Poole will be the first person you think that step up with all these guys out. But I'm more looking towards like Moses Moody in this game. I think Moses Moody showed the last game that he had some clutch moments down the stretch. against the Lakers. I think he's probably a little bit more consistent than what you're seeing from Jordan Poole late. So I would look that direction. But I think the first quarter is the only play to make in this game. Get in, get out, take the first quarter, Denver Nuggets, and see how everything else turns out.
Yeah, Moses Moody against a good Mavericks defense had 13 off the bench against them couple of games ago. So capable to maybe be that guy. Someone's got to score for Golden State with everybody out. So maybe Moody can be him, the person that fills the void a little bit at least. We'll see. Skee, what do you think? Golden State, Denver.
I think Denver is still going to continue to push the pace. They've been playing really up tempo, and their first halves have been going under because the number has been too high. And Warriors, they kind of been averaging their last 10, like more like 119, close to 120. I know you're going to miss a lot of points with Steph, but I think the pace is going to be there. I think both teams will play up tempo. And the number I have it as where it should have been was around 115. So I played it. I don't think it's the greatest play in the world now with the, looking back at all the injuries, but that's what I'm on tonight. And if I have to pick a side, it would be Golden State. I don't really trust Denver. And they're on a back-to-back. They probably look at this team and say, "Oh, if Steph's not in the lineup, it'll be an easy game for us." While the other guys are out there playing hard. So, lean Warriors, maybe lean first half over.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of players get opportunity and minutes that they normally wouldn't. So, and they play hard as a result. Want to show everybody what they can do. So you always have to keep that in mind when you're talking about this many players out of the lineup for a team like Golden State tonight. All right, good point. Next up, we got New York, Sacramento, final game of this Monday card. Sacramento 4-point home favorites, 231.5 the total. So I went back and looked. How have the Kings done when they've been favored this year? Because they're not favored very often. We know that. But when they have been favored this year, they've actually, as bigger favorites, believe it or not, 4-point favorites or more, which is obviously what they are here tonight in this matchup against the Knicks. They actually haven't been that terrible. And usually when they're favored for a reason. I think they've got just a slightly above 500 ATS record as 4-point favorites or more. Yeah, I've got them at 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 5, 8 and 5 ATS, 4-point favorites or more this year, the Sacramento Kings. So these numbers where we've seen them favored by a little bit of a margin, it's usually because, hey, there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is this is a pretty brutal spot for the Knicks. A Knicks team that's played better the last couple of games. They pissed it away against Phoenix. I can't believe that loss. They had it in their fingertips that game, and they pissed it away. And, of course, Cam Johnson gets them at the buzzer in that 115-114 loss to the Suns. And then they beat down the Clippers last night, 116-93. I mean, I certainly didn't see that kind of performance coming from the Knicks. They had a terrific team effort. RJ Barrett continues to roll for them. Mitchell Robinson gave them 12 points. You got Alec Burks with 15. Emmanuel Quickley and Cam Reddish are the outliers. They had 21 and 17 in that win over the Clippers last night. So, but now it's a back-to-back. They're facing Sacramento. I believe if for the Knicks, they go home after. No, they do. Their road trip continues. It's a long one. They've still got a bunch of games on this road trip. Dallas, Memphis, Brooklyn. I mean, they've got a lot of games on the road coming up here. So this is tricky, but this is crazy as it is to say this. For the first time in a long time, I'd be considering laying the points with the Sacramento Kings. I don't think I can. I don't know if I will. But that's the side I'd probably prefer if I had to bet something in this game. The over 2. I mean, Knicks defense has not been – last night it was good. Can you trust it to be good again? Second night of back-to-backs. And I know I can't trust Sacramento one night to the next defensively. So it would be a lean Sacramento, a lean over for me, but may not bet it. What do you think here, Wham? Sacramento, New York.
Yeah, man, it's kind of like that, brother. It's kind of like that, man. This team is fucking ass. The Knicks is just really ass, bro. They waste production. You can see it one moment it's RJ Barrett. It could be Julius Randle. They can't do it. They just can't do it, bro. I don't know what's wrong with them, man. Maybe it's the coach. Maybe it's just the personnel. Maybe it's just the guys' willpower. I don't understand. They just not good. But what I will say is both of these teams. Let's start off with the Knicks. The Knicks coming off that 23-point win yesterday against the Clippers. Who cares, bro? Who cares? Let's be honest. Who cares? It was a weird game for the Clippers. We chuck it up as a loss. this is another team that's going to try to score, though. Like the Clippers, that's their problem. They don't have guys that consistently score off the bounce. They don't have their main guys. You guys do. These guys do now. You know what I mean? Javonte Sabonis, Justin Holiday, the guards there that they have, and De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is just cooking, going over his points total left and right. That's the only way I think that's probably the better play in this spot. De'Aaron Fox points. I know some people that took that one. I'm thinking about going ahead and riding you guys with that one. That probably is the best play here, but I like the over here, man. I don't know why. I like the over here. I just think the defense is going to be a little bit lax, even though New York should have the better defense here. I think Sacramento is going to do whatever they want down low. So I think it's a bonus props or even De'Aaron Fox props, probably the way I'm looking here. Other than that, it is a backwood on the side. I don't care who wins this game, to be honest. I just think it's going to be points to be made, stats to accumulate, and those two guys, I think they are the ones. Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, that's probably it.
Yep, Sabonis for sure. I could see him going over points for sure, rebounds, all that stuff. His props seem like a good way to go tonight in this one. Dutch, how about you? Knicks, Kings.
Yeah, big shout out to our guy Sam Comer, Elliot V. I see you, and Nut Flush Allen, Caden. Yeah, Ski has his moments. You know, he does have his moments. Yeah, but this game, I look at it as like I'm about to have the Pistons and the motherfucking Kings on my card today. Oh shit, man! I smoke a lot of weed. I'll be smoking even more today, but I don't know. Hey, the value seems to be there. I agree with everything motherfucking Ian said, and he said a lot about that first stat he said when they're favored too. I love that shit. So I mean, I just think it's really an auto fade of the Knicks here in the spot. But I low key kind of like what I'm seeing out of Sacramento a little bit, and I didn't fully agree with the way Billy went out in on that trade, but I did believe Sabonis was a good pickup for the Kings. I know we got a lot of Halliburton love, but I like Sabonis. I think he's a solid piece. I think you can win with Sabonis, and I do like De'Aaron Fox. My man, Wham Bam touched on it. Went over 25.5 points. It was even money earlier, went over this number 4 of the last 5. Only game he didn't go over this number is he had 25 in it. And then he had earlier this year, he only played in one meeting. He had 29 and 11 versus these boys. So I would look for De'Aaron Fox just to get to the hole. I know he's coming off a 44-point game. So, but from defensive perspective, I don't look at New York really having anything for him. Sabonis, I looked at that as well, but Sabonis had some subpar games against the Knicks with the Pacers earlier this year, so I would definitely lean more heavy towards the De'Aaron Fox. But the Knicks haven't won back-to-back games since January 15th. They're 0-3 straight up in their last 3 back-to-backs, 1-7 straight up last 8, 2-9 straight up last 11 on the road, and 3-10 against the number last 13 overall. I could only look Sacramento here. They're 4-1 last 5. And like I mentioned, the Knicks did win the Knicks beat these boys January 21st. They beat them by 7-point favorites, beat them by 20 with no De'Aaron Fox. So you want the revenge factor, it's there. I think Sacramento's got them in a clean spot. I don't know, laying the 4, not something I really like to do with Sacramento, but it's Sacramento or nothing here. It's Sacramento proud.
They beat San Antonio and OKC. They hung tough with Dallas the other night, lost by a point. They're 4-1 ATS their last 5 games, Sacramento, all of a sudden. So a little bit better, no question. And another thing, too, about Sacramento, do you see their schedule after tonight? They better win this damn game because after tonight they play Chicago, Utah, Denver, Milwaukee, Boston, and Phoenix. They could lose each and every one of those games right there. So, better win tonight. This is your game to get here tonight against the New York Knicks on the second night of a back-to-back. We'll see if they can do it. Skee, what do you think?
I think Wham had the right idea. Fox has gone over 25.5 points, 12 of the last 15 games. I probably might look towards him. Sabonis could also be another good look here. But it's tough for me to back Sacramento. I heard what you said, Ian. When they're big favorites, they cover, but my fingers just can't push that confirm button on Kings to win by a margin. It just can't do it. So lean Kings, probably won't get to the window.
All right, good stuff. 371 live viewers. Hit the like button. Make sure you do that if you haven't done so already on a Monday. We appreciate it. Great stuff with Skee, Wham, and Dutch. Best bets, freshest look for Dutch. It's coming right up. All right, Southtown 101 when you're in San Antonio, Texas, and we'll be there in a couple weeks. Stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101, Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product, 20% off with promo code PubSports, and MyBookie.ag. NBA, college basketball, March Madness, NHL, UFC. Sign up for an account. MyBookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit as well. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports, and the Pub Rub. Get it on the website, pubsportsradio.com, $14.99, 2 for $25. Check it out, pubsportsradio.com. All right, best bets and Dutch's freshest look to wrap up the show. Dutch, let's start with you today for our Monday, a Medicate Monday. Medicate us with your freshest look.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Freshest look. You know where we're going. We're going to Dallas. We're going with the motherfucking Top Gun. Luka the motherfucking Don. Lay it with the Mavericks, 2.5, 2, 3, whatever it fucking is. They win this game by double digits. Believe it. It's good money.
Dallas Mavericks, -2.5 against Utah. Freshest look for Dutch. Wham. Best bet.
Yeah, best bet for me is going to go big simple here. Both teams is allowing 51% field goal percentage over the last 5 games, 30th and 29th, and then allowing 54 points in the paint to opponents. That's 29th and 30th as well. We're going to go to the over 236. It's the San Antonio Spurs Lakers over 236. Let's get it.
All right. I like that one too. Lakers Spurs over 236. Best bet for Wham. Skee Profit. Best bet.
Yeah, we gotta mix some kind of dog up in here. So we're gonna go the team that's in their role, been their role all season long. Detroit Pistons +7.5 points.
There we go. Detroit Pistons +7.5 against Atlanta. Best bet for Skee in this one. And my best bet is right along with Skee. Same one. Detroit Pistons +7.5 against the Atlanta Hawks. They've covered 7 in a row. For Atlanta, they've not been good on the road. 1 point spread cover in their last 7. Detroit's beaten them 3 straight times at home. Never mind covering. Detroit's won 3 straight times at home against Atlanta. I think they can keep it going here. Great spot. Speaking of keeping it going, I'll try to keep it going. 19-4 run with best bets on this show. Let's see if we can make it number 20 here tonight. Detroit +7.5 against Atlanta for my best bet for a Monday. All right, that's a wrap on the Pub Hub for a Monday edition. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. A reminder, we got Net Profit College Basketball, a great night of conference tournament action, championship games, semifinal games. Maxwell Smart and Connor Mack have you covered with that. We'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, for another edition of the NBA Pub Up. J Money will be rocking with us tomorrow, ready to break down the Tuesday card. For Skee Profit, for Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday. Have a great Monday night. We'll see you Tuesday for another edition of the NBA Pub Up right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Yo, salute to the real ones. Stay fresh. Stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.